Before we go, much can and will be said on this topic during the week as the White House is gearing up for its own version of a 100-day report card. President Trump's tweet labeling it a ridiculous milestone conflicts with his Gettysburg speech during the campaign and the 100-day contract with the American voter attached to that speech. Now, Trump held himself to this standard, as other presidents have. Scrutiny, therefore, is as required as it is justified. But I believe it is wise for us to take stock of where the 100-day milestone came from and how, once it came to America, its application to current presidential circumstances may be less relevant than ever.
Happening now, 5 days away.
On the eve of his 100th day in office,
President Trump now approaching the 100-day mark.
The 100 days in office mark.
We're marking President Trump's first 100 days.
That 100-day mark.
The first 100 days.
That all-important 100-day mark looming for the president.
The first 100 days of an American presidency is a durable benchmark, so entrenched in the minds of journalists and historians, it has almost become a cliché. It may surprise you to learn 100 days is a French milestone, not American. Its origin springs from Napoleon in 1815. When the former emperor escaped from exile in Elba, he rallied the French army, took control of Paris, reestablished his reign, and set about warring against European powers still arrayed against him. Napoleon lost at Waterloo in Belgium, was forced to abdicate, and then exiled to St. Helena in faraway South Atlantic. All that happened in 100 days. Historians described it as a significant, though brief, epoch in history. So it was.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt's presidency revived interest in the concept of 100 momentous days because of FDR's initial response to the Great Depression, most notably the crisis in American banking. The lame duck Congress had adjourned the day before FDR was inaugurated. Roosevelt had to stabilize the banking system. Executive actions could do only so much. So Roosevelt called the new Congress into emergency session, and Congress complied. FDR kept Congress in emergency session until June, passing 16 big bills, including the National Industrial Recovery Act and measures that created the Tennessee Valley Authority, Federal Emergency Relief Administration, and the Civilian Conservation Corps. These actions would come to be known as the first New Deal. From the beginning to the end of the special session was 100 days. Ever since, journalists, historians, and even presidents have embraced the 100-day marker as a telling milestone of a young presidency. We must therefore pay heed. But most significant accomplishments in any administration happen after 100 days. For all of Reagan's planning, his tax cuts and spending plans were not approved until August 13th. President Obama's 100-day record has the stimulus bill, the Lilly Ledbetter Pay Equity Act, an increase in U.S. troops to Afghanistan of 17,000, and an announcement to pull U.S. troops out of Iraq by the end of 2011. This was also done amid an economic crisis, the Great Recession. But health care and Dodd-Frank bank regulation came later. In any event, President Trump has invited attention to the 100-day marker, so have other presidents. Unified control of Congress and the executive branch raise expectations for results, and Trump and GOP leaders have fed those expectations. But that is no guarantee of action. George W. Bush and the Republican Congress, after all, did not pass his first tax cut until June 7th, and No Child Left Behind was not signed until January 2002. But in an era of reflexive, almost instantaneous partisanship, it is worth asking how much outside executive authority can be accomplished by a president in 100 days. Importantly, the FDR experience is unique in American history, and the 100-day milestone distinctly French. The imperatives of 100-day assessments are real, but presidencies live long after, and the 200th or 300th day of a presidency can be just as important, and in some cases more important, than the 100th.